Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia. I hope this video finds you well. My name is Felicia. I am a human and civil rights advocate. I run a nonprofit organization called Divas Can Manifest. We are a healthcare initiative in women's health, and I'm so happy that you are here. All of the proceeds to this channel go back to our nonprofit organization to help make this free tarot channel accessible to all and to continue to further our other efforts. Check the description box down below and find out ways that you can give back. Today we are getting into how is your absence felt? Okay, some of you, these are a lot of relationships that are characterized by distance, that are characterized by separation, no communication. But let's get into it and let's see. We will try to get a little bit about the context of the relationship, who this person could be, and then we will get into how they are feeling your absence. What does it mean? What is it like when you are gone? What is it like when they no longer have access to you? Okay, friends, let's get into it. Pile 1, you're represented by the 4 of Wands. Pile 2, you're represented by the Queen of Swords. Pile 3, you're represented by the 3 of Pentacles. And pile 4, you're represented by the 7 of Pentacles. Check the description box down below. Choose your pile, and I will see you later. Bye. Pile 1, welcome to your selection. So you chose the 4 of Wands. We're also going to be pulling messages from my Peaceful Relations deck. But before we get into that, we're going to pull a few oracle cards and then a little bit of advice at the end as well about, what do you advice for this connection, what could possibly going on from another tarot deck. So let's hop into it, friends. Okay, so I definitely feel like this was not like with the 4 of Wands. This was definitely a relationship worth celebrating. And I don't know if this person ever gave you the flowers that you deserve, but I sense that there was this in the situation. You guys may have shared a home, or you share some type of celebratory moments with one another. I feel like there is literally like calendar dates. There's like literally milestones on the calendar. So this, how these people or this particular person is feeling your absence is quite literally they are reminded of you every time a particular date comes around. I'm getting something where there was parties or homes and celebrations shared together. These could be family or friends or even lovers that lost you. And I'm getting that you were, how your absence is felt is that these people actually, you were like their comfort when they were at their weakest. And you were their, strongest cheerleader when they were like, you were like their biggest cheerleader when they were at their strongest. So it's like you have been it's like you were by this person's side through many ups and downs, through the ebbs and the flows of life, through weakness, through strength, through health, and through sickness. Some of you guys, you may have been married to this person or have some type of long-term relationship with this person. This could also be a childhood friend, but this was definitely a relationship worth celebrating. So, it just like life doesn't feel, this sounds so dramatic, but life doesn't feel the same without you. Home doesn't feel the same without you. And they don't feel like this home and celebration and this true support from anybody else. Okay, you were this person's strength, security, and stability. And it feels like that clearly if you're here, it feels like that's no longer an option, right? We have the Leo friend. Loyal, devoted, and supported. Yeah. You were always available to this person. I'm hearing that you came around and you were easy breezy, beautiful cover girl or cover guy. And you came around and you were just like this fun and good time. I'm hearing something happened in July or August. And you were so supported to this person, so supportive of this person. You were always celebrating this person. You were very devoted. And they feel like since you are now no longer in their life, they don't have anyone that was that there is loyal and devoted to them. They may have found you, and I'm hearing that there's like a graveyard here, or there's like a death here, or this person feels like it's over. Like they may be dead to you, okay? But it feels like this person, they were distracted, or they took this for granted, and they seen you maybe, you know, move on or relocate, and you're no longer devoted and loyal to this person after, you know, you realize that they were like taking this for granted, or they were not as like supportive of you and loyal to you. Yeah, so it definitely feels like, you know, this person, they, you know, they took this for granted, and they did not show, like they were very, like they were very rash about something, and they did not show a lot of care for the consequences of some type of action that they took. This was very, I'm hearing that their actions took, like they were, it was like, it was like a severe consequence. I feel like with this Four of Wands, you definitely had like felt this person in a social setting. You definitely, you know, they definitely miss partying with you. They're seeing like that you are actually very supportive of everyone, and that you celebrate everybody, and that you get along with everybody. And they're definitely reminiscing about the times that you guys shared together, the parties, the fun times that you guys had together. And they wish that they wouldn't have gotten distracted. They wish that they would have showed a little bit more care and concern about their actions. They didn't realize how severe of a consequence that there will be. You're no longer open to them. You're no longer available to them. Something where you may have broken off an engagement, or they broke off an engagement. Let's get a little bit more information around who this person is, how you'll know who this is, friends. Okay, you were definitely like this person's strength, security. Oh my God, crazy fourth house energy, right along here with the fourth house, or the Four of Wands. This person, they definitely felt like somebody that you put down roots with. Maybe there was, like I said, marriage or an engagement or a childhood friendship. There was a foundation of like milestones, celebrations. I'm hearing memories and holidays shared together. You were very loyal and devoted to and supportive of this person. Somebody here likes to wear Adidas. This person may like to wear Adidas, or they wear a lot of jogging pants, or athletic wear. I'm also getting like ankle socks, not ankle socks, but you know, the socks that kind of go up a little bit, but they're not quite like, they're not knee length socks. They're like shin length. Okay. Somebody here is very athletic, or they do a lot of sports. This person is a Leo, Sag, Aries, perhaps. Okay. But this person definitely, like, you know, they definitely, you know, life doesn't feel the same without you, because you were kind of like this person's family. Like, you and this person have very strong roots together. I'm getting driving road trips together, driving through a tunnel or something like that. It literally just doesn't feel the same without you. I'm getting that this person, they may have failed to give you the flowers that you deserve. They never, if this was a partner, you wished and hoped that they were like, they would give you flowers, and they literally never gifted you any flowers. Is what I'm hearing. I'm also getting that this social circle, if this isn't a lover, this is a social circle. This person, I'm hearing that you was the one that was getting along with everybody. You were the one that was like, I'm hearing that you are like that patient friend. You are like that mediating friend. I'm hearing that you are the one that I'm hearing inspires the community and things of that nature. Like, I don't know what happened and why you guys, you know, why there is a separation here, but they definitely miss partying with you. They miss your loyal devotion. And, you know, they were something where they may have forgotten an important date. Okay, they forgot one of your milestones or something like that. And maybe that is when you realize that this person, you know, they did not have like a lot of care and concern, or they were distracted by some third party, or they let someone come in between the relationship, and you stopped. Like, you were just like, well, I don't know why. It's something where it feels like you were like, I don't know why I'm making myself so available to these people, because they're literally like not a good friend. Even if this is like a lover, all of like great relationships start with like trust and friendship. And I'm getting that these people literally were just like really bad friends, and they did not, you know, you were so available to them and so supportive to them, and then you started to realize that maybe this was an imbalanced relationship. And when you took that away from them, or the universe was like there was a divine intervention, okay, it was just like these people were forced to realize, like, after, you know, they like experiencing your absence forced them to kind of like realize, you know, what they were missing, what they were, you know, not valuing, and they realized that you were their true strength, support, security, and stability. And they really missed that. Okay, oh my god, this just literally wanted to show itself to me again. I kind of was getting at a little bit. There may have been like a destructive secret that happened in this situation, or you revealed this person's shadow aspects, and realized that they didn't, you know, their actions were just like careless. They did not handle you. I'm hearing they took naive risk, and they did not handle you, you know, properly. I'm hearing they definitely mishandle you. Okay, from the peaceful relations, let's get into it. What happened in this situation that may have caused the separation, friends? They got distracted by something. Okay, we have father healing. So I definitely was getting that. You know, this may have been a lover, okay, especially through the fourth house. The fourth house rules our relationship with our mother, but with, you know, it's still, you know, the father is still a part of our home. I feel like with this father healing, this person, you know, when they got distracted, or they were forgetful, or they did not show care and concern, or they were, I'm hearing something where they were flaky and unreliable, and they did not show up for important dates, or they, like, you revealed their shadow aspects, and that they were like negative in some type of way, that they were disloyal in some type of way. They showed you that they were secretly not committed to you. Like, this was the father healing that you needed, because these people, you were definitely like, you are starting to realize that, like, your father would not forget your birthday. Your father would not, you know, they would show more care and concern. Your father is, you know, very supportive and devoted, right? And these people, when they stopped showing up for you, especially if these people, you know, you shared a home with these people, when these people didn't show up for these important dates, and you learned that they were disloyal, distracted, and not devoted, and forgetful, you realize that they actually did not, like, they were not they did not show any care and concern whatsoever. And you were like, I will not make myself, you know, because I have these daddy issues or whatever, I will not make myself so available anymore. Okay, you are learning to not misplace your, you know, don't make yourself so available. You know, you only give your time and presence to people who deserve it. And I think that's what you really revealed in the shadow work with these people, right? It may have been a good time when y'all were together, but they showed you that they were not your true family. They showed you that they were not, you know, loyal and devoted and truly supportive of you. This was just like a good time, right? Some of them, they showed you that they were not available when they went, you know, and got, you know, distracted by someone else, right? We have my beloved. Though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So, you know, this definitely is someone who you do have a spiritual union with. This person, I think you will be forever one with this person. I'm not sure if this involves a reconciliation, but you are learning that, especially with this father healing, that separation is an illusion. And, you know, these people, they were not able to, like, this foundation and these roots that you put down did not withstand the test of time. You did not put down strong enough roots. There was something where its securities were obstructed, stabilities were obstructed. I'm hearing maybe even a home was destroyed, and it felt like, you know, your family, like you were torn away from your family or something. Engagement was broken off, or the relationship stopped being easy. The relationship was no longer supportive. And you realize that, like, this giving, nurturing, caring, and sensitive relationship was not, like, this was like through the shadows. This was an ego display. This was not because they were truly generous and unconditionally loving and supportive and devoted. It was because they were looking to get something in return. And I feel like once you stop, showing as much generosity and availability, and maybe even you took your foundation away from these people, they have been like forced to reevaluate who they've been partying with, who they've been loyal to, who they've been devoted to, right? In this separation, this person is, starting to learn that they're starting to reminisce about the good times that you guys had, because they're definitely like not having fun with other people is what I'm hearing. LOL. Okay, so let's get the tarot, okay, so we can wrap. How was your absence felt, pile one? Things just don't feel the same without you. Home doesn't feel the same without you. I'm hearing some of you guys, you were cooking a lot. There's a lot of home cooked meals here. There's a lot of home care, and they just don't have that, right? They're realizing that like you, as this devoted partner and friend, these other people, they might have a good time with them, but these other people are not showing up in the same way, and they were easily distracted and forgetful and did not show a lot of care, and that is why they lost you. Okay, that is why some of you guys, you may have moved on, relocated, and stopped making yourself so available to these people, and went off and did your own healing your father issues, and realizing that like a true masculine is a positive and guiding light, and someone who's loyal and devoted and supportive. Okay, so tell me more about what's the advice around this connection. Okay, pile one. The Queen of Pentacles, right? Yeah, I love that. Ace of Swords. And the Lovers. Yeah, you guys are definitely lovers. This was like a soul journey. And then we have the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. I definitely feel like in this separation, this person learned, where their true security and strength is. You guys are lovers, united through space and time. And this person, I feel like in this separation, in this absence, they needed to get the clarity that they needed. They know that you have been secure. They know that you have been, some of you, you've been focused on your money, or you've been focused, on your career and finances, and they feel like you were just very secure within yourself after doing this daddy healing. And that, them not showing up, they weren't your emperor before, right? But after leaving them, and then maybe they went off, they started to go and party with other people. They feel like you were very secure within yourself, and you did not let, like, especially if they have roots with other people, and they, you have to relocate and move away from this person, so that this person can learn who their true strength and support was, because they have been, I'm hearing something where they were easily distracted, and they were forgetting things that was very important, and this was not somebody that you needed to be available to. You need to always invest and become available to people who are also making those same adjustments. Don't, people who are not like, I'm getting that you were just like this stable force in this person's life. You were their foundation, you were their roots, you were their family, and you were just there available always, and they were just not there in the same degree. And now they are left reminiscing about these good times, because they know that it represented your devotion, and now you're gone, right? They see that you did not let this obstruct your peace or your sense of security, because they were off with, I'm hearing people who were not even on your same level, and they had other people and other celebrations, and they were off, exploring their other options, and you just had to stay secure within yourself and heal those daddy issues, and heal your need for them to validate your experience and your self-worth, with their presence and their, what I'm saying, you know what I mean, right? It's like you were there for this person when they were their weakest, and they were not there for you when you really needed them. And I definitely can sense that you guys, you are definitely united, physically, if not physically, but definitely spiritually. In this person, they have learned where to put their strength and security. I don't know what that means going forward, friends, but you'll definitely have to stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know how this resonates down below. This is how, these people are feeling your absence right now, because they got distracted. You're no longer in their physical reality. And I don't know if that means that you're like, I don't know if you're open to a reconciliation at this point, but we'll have to stay tuned, friends. I love you so much. It was my honor to reach your energies. Don't forget to check the description box to learn more about me and what we are doing here through through our nonprofit organization. I would love to see you become a member to the Winner Circle. Sign up for our newsletter. We're currently putting out the new moon and full moon astrological updates for the lunar cycles and a whole lot more. But until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your selection. You chose the Queen of Swords. Some of you guys, these are men who are feeling your absence. This one is just, this one's kind of sad, friends. This was not good. You know, if these are not men, these are definitely people who, they really lost you. And I'm hearing something where you have literally, there's like a genuine coldness here with these people. They feel like you are mentally tormenting them. This is crazy. This sounds very intense, y'all. They feel like you're mentally tormenting these people. And they are literally suffering, you know, with your, like, you are putting these people through a hardship with your spite. I'm hearing that they see that you are acting with vengeance. You are doing things out of spite to purposefully trigger these people. These could be men, or these could be literally someone who did something to harm you, or you feel like they deserve this. They feel like in the past you were like this nurturing, caring, and unconditionally loving person who was patient with them. But there is like a genuine coldness here. You literally feel nothing, no care and no concern for their well-being. Something that deals with an elephant. Okay, someone here, an elephant. There's an elephant here. They feel like you are no longer affectionate. And they honestly, they feel like you're very selfish. They feel like all that you think about is yourself and how you can benefit from something. But I feel like when they get triggered or you do something to spite them, they are just like, ultimately, I feel like they are reminded of just how unfair they have been to you. And you are so cold to them. You are just like, after recovering or protecting yourself from them, they watch you be unobstructed. These people are literally, they feel mentally tormented by you because their unfair behavior, you are just, you have no sympathy for it. There's no validation for what they did. And they feel like in the past you used to be affectionate, and like you're no longer personal with them anymore. They miss it, you know, they how they're feeling your absence is that they really miss how things used to be before you became cruel, bitter, and spiteful. It seems like you have this selfish desire to torment them, and you don't care about how they feel. They feel like all you show, I'm getting a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. I feel like all that you show now is like how book smart you are, and you demean them for their behavior. They feel like you're actually very, like, they feel like you can be, like, you're cold-hearted and bitter and you're jaded and cruel, okay? Because, I don't know, something where their unfair, unjust actions led to, like, a conflict, a drama, or something that was toxic to your growth and happiness. So I feel like after, like, surviving something, recovering from something, or freeing yourself and rising above a drama, you literally, like, don't care how they feel. Some of you want to get revenge on them, and they feel like all you do now is torment them, you demean them, you nitpick and criticize them, especially if this is at work. We have the Taurus co-worker. They wish that you weren't so abusive now, okay? Because something where these people were, like, they did something unfair and they were stubborn and resistant to, like, something that was stable and well directed. It feels like you were trying to be helpful in the past, and they did something to cause a conflict out of your help, or something that was literally well directed, and they, like, or they got mad at you for being hardworking and dedicated, and they just literally refused it. And I'm getting that after you were just like, I'm no longer going to nurture any kind of irrational behavior or any kind of drama or conflict. I do not negotiate with terrorists. And something where you're like, you want to bring about torment and misery to my soul, I will torment you every chance I get. Like, these people have been so totally unreasonable. Hold on. We have Aquarius, okay? Something where you may have even realized that these people were like in a secret competition, and you were just being hardworking and dedicated to your own path, and someone got mad. And like this Aquarius energy, right? It's quite opposite. Like, you see how rational shows up here? They literally did something like that's quite the opposite of rational. They did something irrational. I'm also getting some people here they wanted to compete with something that you were doing for humanity's sake. They wanted to compete with something that was literally well directed and helpful and innovative. And this was literally like some of them, they just realized that you were the star at something and they got mad. And you were just like, I'm not going to entertain any toxic conflict or drama, and I'm not going to nurture you and hold your hand to consciousness. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And if you keep making irrational decisions, I'm quite literally going to punish you. I definitely feel like you are in this, like, they miss, you know, how things used to be before you became cold. I'm hearing you're literally cold as ice. Ice cold. Okay? If they put you through a hardship in any way, you're literally, the tables are turning, and you're putting them through a hardship out of spite. Like, I'm hearing you purposefully trigger them every chance that you get. And I'm getting that these people actually are, like, they really are inhibited by your triggers. When these people's solar plexus gets triggered, they are very disempowered from doing anything. I'm also getting that you literally, because of what you're doing is so innovative, and the fact that you're also the star, it's not just like a subliminal, it's not just like a trigger. It is quite literally very destructive, what you do to them, and they feel like it is torment. It's like, if you want to watch my every move, you're watching me, I'm going to torment you. Okay, something where they wish that you were not so spiteful and abusive. Okay, you're no longer affectionate, you no longer care about them, you no longer support them, you're no longer, you know, wishing for their, you know, well-being. Because they were literally trying to inhibit something that was well directed. They were not like, they were being irrational or being petty, and they were just like, they were resisting something that was rational. And it just feels like, you know, this feels like their behavior was out of spite, and now you're like, I'll show you spite. Okay, I'll show you spite. And I'm getting, every time you get a chance, they watch you, and you're so unobstructed, you have your peace, and you're the one that's throwing blows now. Okay, from the Peaceful Relations deck, let's see, what can we tell about this situation? Okay, we know that there's genuine coldness there. We know that, you know, we don't care about these people. Like, a lot of you guys, you really just don't care about them, and you actually do want to harm them before putting you in a conflict or drama. Okay, I'm hearing something where they wish that you would not criticize them so harshly. Somebody's a Leo, Aquarius. I'm hearing people that feel demeaned by you. You know, they feel like you're only showing your book smarts now. You're not showing anything personal. A lot of them, they see you as doing something innovative, and you've been dedicated and hardworking, but they don't see your personal experience with it anymore. And they feel like that is like, you know, they wish that you were more personal with them. They wish that you would share more of your experiences. They wish that you would express more of your feelings and your softer side. They wish you were still nurturing with them, and you're like, I'm not patient. You know, all you do is, like, I'm hearing something, all that you do now is deliver your book smarts. All you do now is deliver something professional. And it's still well directed, and it is still, you know, people can still depend on you, and you're still dedicated to what you're doing. But because of this resistance to just like your like you existing, it felt like this was something that was on a personal level. So you like removed all of your personal, I don't want to say you removed your personality, but you removed like a lot of the personal elements where you share stories, where you kikied with a lot of people. Something where it may have even became a competition, or it became a situation where you were taking, they feel like you're selfish and that you keep taking all of these actions to, you know, serve your own interest and your own agenda, and you do not care if, you know, it belonged to someone else. I'm hearing something where you're biting people. I'm hearing you're biting people's, I'm hearing that you're stealing aspects of people's brand. You're stealing, you know, you're stealing things from them now. Okay. I mean, you're literally exploiting people's weakness, and because you're so book smart and so well established and well directed, it's kind of like they can do nothing about it. Especially if these people were responsible, like they stole from you in the past, or they, you know, they did something, you know, irrational with you, or they put you in a conflict or drama. It's like you are literally showing them drama. You're showing them conflict, and you're literally tormenting these people. I'm hearing something about they're the Nine of Swords like every day. We have family violence. Okay, we have the 4th house. So this could be a especially with the 4th house here, this could be a family member. This situation, if these are men especially, oh my gosh, I'm hearing that if you were with these men and they did something abusive to you, I'm hearing if any men did it, like they were any, like they did some type of domestic abuse, or they put you in a love triangle, or they were fighting and attacking you in any kind of way. Some of them put you in a love triangle and created a lot of drama in your life. Somebody's name that starts with letter F or letter Q. I'm getting that any of these people, okay, I'm also getting a letter R. If any of these people, I'm hearing something where they may have even put you in a love triangle at your job. You have become so embittered because this was such a they were so unfair in what they did. And you were like the hardworking, dependable, and dedicated person. And this person was resisting and stubborn to something that was well directed. Some of them, they rebelled against your authority out of spite. And they were so unstable and not helpful. And you were just like, you didn't really see their behavior as rational. I feel like you really, like they miss when it felt like a family, when they miss when it was like a home, a nurturing, caring, and sensitive relationship. They miss when you guys collaborated and was, you know, working on things together. They miss when you had more like, they feel like you are not, especially with Aquarius coming out, you have humanitarian. It feels like something where you don't even feel human to these people anymore. I don't know what happened, friends, but they feel like you're not even like human. The way that you are showing up and your work is just, it's so rational. It kind of feels like it is like it's electronic or something like that, or it feels as if you have taken some personal elements away. It doesn't feel personal anymore. It doesn't feel like they are truly connecting to you. It feels like you are literally focused on some type of professionalism or something that is literally a deliverable, and they are missing like an interactive style that you guys had, you know, and they feel like you were just so selfish and stubborn. You will not even, like, after they were violent to you in some type of way, you are now tormenting them, and you are like, you're lacking care for their humanity. It's like when they did something, it was like you're kind of returning that same energy. They did not care about how their behavior impacted you. They didn't care about your humanity. I'm hearing something where they may have even dehumanized you, and their actions actually, you know, this toxic conflict and drama that they put you in became so destructive and so destabilizing. And that showed just like their way of thinking, their way of being, and how they normalized some type of dysfunctional situation and expected you to just forgive them. If they were domestically violent and they were not dependable, while you were the reliable one, hardworking and dedicated, and they turned around, was resisted, and did something violent, I feel like you're just like, you will not experience that again, okay? They feel like you have turned ice cold, and that's like, I don't know what happened, friends, but they feel like all you focus on is money, all you're focused on is like delivering your book smart, and that is like you find you don't need the personal, you don't need the interactions, you just need the money, is what I'm hearing. Something where you're so mean now. They feel like you're very mean. And they miss how sweet you used to be. But it seems like this conflict really hardened you because it was so toxic to your growth and happiness and so unjust. Look deep within your heart. You will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. You know, I feel like, especially with this fourth house and family violence, it definitely feels like, you know, this felt like a family, especially if you guys hear from Power One. You guys, it's not that they didn't love you. It was because this person, they grew up in a family violence. They come from a family violence. And not everything is rational in a family violence, right? When you're at home and your family starts fighting or starts abusing each other, it's not like you can just, in a normal situation or an everyday experience when someone starts fighting and attacking, you can get up and leave, right? But you can't just easily get up and leave your home, right? So I feel like in this situation where you were, like, you may have had this established relationship with this person through the fourth house. They felt like family. But this, when you learned that this was like a toxic thing, you became enlightened around this toxic situation and how it had been stunting your growth and stopping you from being happy. I hear that you became very angry. And you demean them for being so violent and negative, because I definitely feel like, I don't know, I'm not going to say you were a saint. It just feels like this conflict that you guys had, it may have been more obscure. This person may have even still been dependable or not. It doesn't matter, but it just feels like there was like a family violence where it was like a normalizing of some kind of conflict. And so it kind of feels like you guys started taking shots with one another, or it was like a tit for tat situation. Or you guys were still having to work together, and there was like conflict around like work, and there was a conflict around like how to, operate the family unit, how to run the home. And this was becoming, it was like, of course it's personal, right? It's the home. It's gonna hit close to home. And it was just not good, where this, this situation is like, you definitely, like, it's like when you're violent with your family, it's not because you don't love them, right? That's your family, that's where you come from. But some of you guys, this was not your actual family. And when you was like, okay, I thought that we were going to put down roots, I thought that we were family, and now I realize that we're not, I'm not going to be dedicated to that. I'm also getting something where there was a situation where this person's family got involved, or this person's family got involved in the relationship, and they were forced to choose between you and their family. And some of them, they chose their family, who was at the South Node, because that felt like the rational decision. Some of you, they were with this family long before, right? They had all these traditions and memories with their family. And when they did not show up for you, right? They were not dependable. They were resistant to you because you were a newer addition in their life, right? It felt like they didn't love you. It felt like they didn't care about you. If it was like a hard decision for them to make when they felt like they had to choose between their family and you, and they chose their family. And they said that when you showed them, that showed you that they really did not consider you as family. They really did not consider you, as home. There was a drama with this other, family that they had, or there was something, that was a personal situation that may have also involved work. So some of these people, they got your family involved at your work or something like that. Your family has been attacking you, okay, or their family. And they feel like, since realizing that, this family, if they really loved you, they wouldn't have attacked you like this. If they really loved you, they wouldn't have wanted to see you fail and fall at life. They wouldn't have done something unjust, right? But some of you guys, you can't help where you come from, and your family is very scarce, or your family is very violent, aggressive. And some of you guys are slave descendant, and you guys come from, a lot of trauma. So I can't tell you what's right and wrong around this family violence, right? But they feel like since then you're the one doing the tormenting, because you felt like when they were resistant to you, they didn't treat you like you were family, right? They should have honored you. They failed to honor their family, okay? And they feel like you became cruel and embittered by this hardship that they took you through when they did not support you, okay? Some of them, they thought that they could replace you with someone, and that showed you that they did not. They thought that they could replace you. You can't replace your family. They feel like all you do now is criticize them, nitpick, and abuse them in the way that they abused you, okay? Demean them for their behavior. So I hope that's making sense, friends. That's you know, it's kind of sad. I don't want to get you down, okay? But I definitely feel like because this definitely triggers like a lot of family violence, okay? A lot of family violence. I'm hearing that they couldn't, like, your absence, they continuously think about the conflict and how you have literally turned cold. It's like, I don't know if there's any coming back from this, okay? If these are friends, they friends that felt like family, some of these people are at a long distance from you, okay? They feel like they really have not been able to get, you know, close to you. They don't see you anymore. And you're no longer like sharing your personal experiences with them, okay? They feel like you are purposely tormenting the people who were violent, okay? We have the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Swords, okay? That actually, you know, this doesn't look too bad. We have the Four of Cups, right? Some of these people, you know, they've been sitting on their arse for a long time. I'm getting that there was something, especially with this fourth house's family, where you needed these people, right? You needed help from these people. You know, you wanted support from these people. And they literally have been stagnant and apathetic and not showing up. You know, and you think that this love would inspire you later, like, oh, look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Your love has not inspired you to take the correct actions. You've still been resistant. You've still been stagnant. You still have not made the rational decisions. You're still violent. You're still putting me through a hardship. Pile 2 is not interested in that. Now they feel like you're the one being selfish. Now they feel like you're the one that's no longer making emotional decisions. You're making rational decisions. It's like, you know, you're like, okay, you did feel like family, but anybody who's not dependable, and anyone who's not stable, anybody who's resisting, I have to keep moving on, right? They see that you're very passionate and inspired, and you're moving. I'm hearing something where you're moving. I definitely feel like this conflict is, you're moving into calmer waters. Things are, you know, becoming easier. You guys are, you know, I'm getting with the Six of Swords, you are moving. You're releasing this past baggage around a family violence, okay? Like a family, even I don't know if this involves your family or their family, or you guys created a family together, but someone was fighting, okay? Someone was fighting. There was a hardship where there was a situation where there was abandonment. There was someone who betrayed, rejected, because of some type of tradition and family that they put up with someone else. Especially if these are men, okay? You're like, you're not my real family if you're not showing up for me, so you can go fuck yourself. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, pal 2. Let me know how that resonates. It's my honor to read your energy. Thank you so much for joining me. These are how these people are feeling your absence. They definitely miss, you know, the home that you guys had, the family, but they feel like there's definitely a lot of genuine coldness there now. They feel like you don't care. You're bored. I'm hearing some of you guys are quite literally bored with them. And, you know, because if some of them have literally been so resistant for a long period of time, you're like, I'm over this chronic dynamic of neglect and hardship and abandonment. If you are not showing up, you don't really love me, okay? That's what I sense right now, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check the description box for all the ways to give back and to learn more about what we have going on in our nonprofit organization. Sign up for our astrological newsletter for the lunar cycles for full moon and new moon, and a whole lot more information coming soon about how you can get involved with our nonprofit and support us and help us keep our community strong and make this information accessible to everyone. I love you so much, and it's my honor to be your energy, and I'll see you in the next one. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the Three of Pentacles. How are these people feeling your absence? This definitely could feel like I'm getting a Gemini, a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. I'm getting that this could be someone who watched you blossom in a work environment, perhaps. Maybe some people are watching you. They watched you level up. These are people that you used to work with or used to communicate with them a lot. They miss working with you. They miss your collaboration and your teamwork. They feel like you guys had a shared vision. They feel like you guys had shared goals, that you guys built things very good together, but now they feel like they have to go at it alone. They feel very lonely, you know, when they are reminded of the goals that you guys used to work on together, because they're realizing that, like, okay, they may get some progress working on things by themselves, but they feel like, before, when you guys used to work together, they feel like you guys made so much progress towards your goals, and now they're realizing that they have to, like, go at it alone, and they feel like they're not, like, meeting their goals to the same in the same ways that they used to with you. Okay, they feel like you guys could have went far together. You guys were a brilliant team. I'm getting something where you guys, the communication between each other, you guys used to bounce off of each other. I'm getting a lot of, like, sharing ideas and like minds, but like different minds, that you guys brought your own unique your own unique contributions to the table. This definitely could have been a situation. So this person has blonde hair. This person, I'm hearing something where you guys could have been lovers and friends, or there was like a passion project that you guys were working on together. I'm definitely getting co-creating, manifesting together, and working towards like a similar vision together. This could have even been like building a family, reproducing together, having children together, and they miss the sex. Some of you guys, you have like, there was like a custody battle here. That's not good. But they feel like it was like a custody battle here, or there is actually like no communication here whatsoever, or no collaboration with each other anymore. Somebody's name starts with the letter A. This could have, like, if this isn't like a family or reproduction, this definitely could have felt like a platonic camaraderie. You guys were bouncing off of each other like crazy, and I feel like things are definitely not the way that they used to be because of some type of conflict, okay, that may have happened, or someone's insecurities got in the way, or you just realized that it was not a feasible relationship, or you got like something where you may have gotten even like strict guidelines to stay away from this person. But you guys had a great rapport together. I'm hearing similar humor, okay, similar senses of humor, similar eating habits. It's just something where you guys, like, you literally bounce off of each other, have fun times with each other. I'm hearing fun lunch dates and things like that. Maybe I definitely feel like something happened where there was just like a lack of compromise. Because I feel like you generally could have been conflict free, but if there were like practical concerns, or there was just some type of ego that may have gotten in the way, I don't know. Let's see. Tell me more. How has your absence felt, from this person? Okay. They feel like you always had their back. You were like their spiritual guardian. You were like that person that protected them, okay, or something like that. Maybe you learned that this person was like in a secret competition with you, or you learned that this person was envious of you in some type of way, envious of your style and success on your own, okay? But I definitely feel like there may have been this, like, I don't know why, but this feels like you guys have similar goals, similar dreams, similar interests. I'm definitely getting like a passion project here, where this could have been, you guys could have went far together if you guys collaborated, but they may have turned into a competition. And then we have the Aries co-worker, involved, contributing, and energetic. Yeah, this definitely feels like you both contributed a lot to this dynamic. I'm hearing you guys were bouncing off of each other, or you guys started syncing up with each other without even knowing. Maybe both of you guys love astrology, or you love dancing, or you like literally some of you guys love you know, the environment, and it's just like you guys could have been great friends and you guys had a great rapport, but there may have been something that happened, or you started to get discouraged about the situation in some type of way. Okay, we have cardinal energy. Yeah, you guys definitely had like a spark with one another. There was definitely like a vision that you guys shared, but it feels like something, you know, I don't know if like something where there may have been, I don't know, let's see. It's like something where you both, like, you both are starters. You both, like, you know, you both contribute a lot. You both, especially with this cardinal modality, you both bring a lot to the table. And we have the 8th house. And from the peaceful relations, let's see. How is your absence felt? Something happened in March. We have forgiveness. I'm not going to say that this connection is over. There is a partner here. I'm getting lovers and friends. Maybe you guys quite literally did used to work together. I'm getting a Pisces, an Aquarius, a Cancer, or a Leo. You know, there was some type of resentment or anger in this situation that have been like, there has been like a lacking of forgiveness. Someone, you know, where someone may have felt wronged, victimized, harmed in a certain type of way, and they feel like, I don't know if this is you, but it feels like you have not been able to compromise with this person because of, like, you really still, like, some of you really do feel harmed in this situation, right? You feel like, especially through the 8th house, like, you know, maybe you guys are moving towards forgiveness, but this is going to require a transformation of your feelings, your attitudes, and your behavior. And you will need to express compassion and generosity if you want this thing to work. Something where this happened when you were a child, this happened when you were younger, and you were always friendly and involved. I'm hearing something where you were involved in a community a lot. You were involved in a network a lot. But there was something where you felt like a victim in this network. You felt like a victim in this work environment. You felt a victim. You felt like victimized by something. And something where you may have, I'm hearing you alienated yourself, isolated yourself, or you want nothing to do with these people. Especially if you feel like there's a group of people who banded together. I feel like you guys were just children when you guys started this. But I feel like something where there has been, you know, I don't know what happened, but it feels like maybe you went through a period of being self-critical and discouraged and depressed, and you started to internalize a lot in this situation. And you went on your own mission for retribution, and I feel like that is like the spark of, you know, transformation. That is the spark of retribution, because I definitely feel like there's a vision that may surround a shared adversity where you guys are going to, where there are people here that will that can make some very positive contributions, but it will require you to, make an intentional decision to forgive them for some type of wrong or harm that they may have done in the past. This person, they feel lonely working towards these goals without you. They feel lonely because you were like this brilliant team with one another. And because of a situation where I'm hearing some childhood woundings or some childhood traumas came up, and it just like caused everybody to feel very self-critical of themselves. And it was not like a conflict may have arose. But this is definitely an opportunity to work towards a shared vision to build something together. We have the asexual union. Yeah, I was definitely getting lovers and friends, right? This is like a relationship. I definitely feel like through this, through honoring the place where, in one another, where you are one eternal soul, you will find bliss. This person, you guys actually have this very divine, sacred, asexual union, but there is a block to the union because of some feelings of hurt and harm and feeling victimized. You will find bliss in this union, but it seems like it may be hard for you to forgive. Someone here is very avoidant, and they've been avoiding this emotional closeness with you. And suppressing their emotions. They feel like they were a power couple with you. They definitely missed the sex, LOL, since that came out so much. I'm getting a lot of conversation during intimacy. A lot of talking to one another, whispering sweet nothings, right? But I feel like, someone here is lacking forgiveness because they're, because of a period of being discouraged, okay? A period of being discouraged. Where there was a lack of collaboration, I think. We have Temperance reversed. We have the Queen of Cups reversed. This could be a feminine, okay? There's definitely no moving forward with this person at this time. But someone here definitely wants to stand up to the challenge of getting you back. They're very determined to get you back, and they feel like, they feel like they put you through a lot of emotional overwhelm. They feel like a lot, especially if this involved like a network of people, you feel very victimized in this situation because it was like you are overwhelmed by these interpersonal relationships or some type of situation that happened in an environment. So this definitely feels like a romantic partner, you guys. But I definitely feel like there was a period in this situation where a choice was made, and you felt, you initially felt wrong and victimized and harmed and hurt. And now I definitely feel like a forgiveness doesn't require a reconciliation, but their choice that they made was lacking rationale. It was lacking prudence. They may have ghosted you. They may have, like, your rapport between the two of you was beautiful. Especially when you were intimate with one another, there was like a lot of bliss during intimacy. But when they made this intentional decision, it left you discouraged. It left you, left you very sad, left you very self-critical of yourself, left you depressed. They stopped being helpful. They stopped being energetic about you. They stopped contributing to you. They stopped being involved. And this was very emotionally overwhelming. And it literally was not. I'm hearing that ship has sailed. I feel like you don't feel this, especially if this was a love triangle, you don't feel the same way anymore. Now, while you guys did have this blissful union, this harm and hurt and victimization, it may have left you, you don't enjoy it anymore. Maybe you don't enjoy it anymore, or it felt like something that was burdensome to you, and you just don't feel like the conflict was necessary. I'm definitely getting that this person was having a lot of volatile mood swings about you. When they show, it's like something where they may have even showed you that there was like that you were alone. They showed you that you were alone, and it's like after actually being alone, right? They may have realized that, you know, the fun passion projects that you guys used to work on together, the sex that you guys used to work on together was very co-creating. They The goals that you had together didn't matter to them, right? It's only after they realize, after going at it alone, or realizing that these other people, you know, didn't have a passion project or shared goals and a vision, right? That they couldn't build things. They were trying to build up other people, and they realized that they couldn't build anything, you know, up with those people. When this person made you, it's like they made you feel very alone. They miss your collaboration and teamwork, but I feel like since leaving them, you are, you know, you don't really need their support anymore. You don't really need their assistance and, you know, their teamwork. Now they're the ones feeling lonely. Now they're the ones, you know, that are reminded of y'all's goals and how far you guys could have gone together. This person, how they're feeling your absence is they're literally not having any expansion, you know, forward without your contribution. Some of them, they're watching you expand and grow and not need their assistance. Some of them, they were angry, and they intentionally wanted to leave you without support. They intentionally wanted you to feel alone, so that you know, so that you could not advance with your goals, and that you could not, so that you would not feel passion, so that you could not make progress towards your own personal vision. Some of them, they are begging to come back. They're praying and hoping that you will forgive them. They're hoping that there could be retribution. They're hoping that there could be another sexual union. But when they showed you that you were alone, you realized, you know, they taught you to be strong. Some of them, you know, there is a bigger purpose here. There is a bigger picture. And you will need to, like, if you want that shared vision to come together, right? You will need to make an intentional decision to let go of that resentment and to transform your feelings and attitudes about a situation. Seek a higher consciousness around it, because the situation is still lacking moderate. The reason why it's not moving forward is because there's still anger and feelings of victimization here, right? You don't want them to touch you after they made you feel alone, right? The only people that get to touch you are people who are there for you. Some of them, they went and had other, you know, they were trying to honor unions with other people and made an intentional decision out of anger to leave you alone and without and depressed and without the support that you needed. And then you realized with every goodbye, you really are strong. You really can endure. And that their contribution wasn't really that important to you. You didn't really need it. They were just a spark of, a vision. They were just the initiation. They were just an ends to a means. How they're feeling your absence, they're the ones that are left without, without expansion. They thought that they could go and have collaborations in other places, but that's not working out. Some of them are so prideful now. They are just like, well, we didn't, I didn't realize that Pal 3's contribution and resources and care was the most valuable the whole time. All of the things that they did not honor in the past, they are starting to honor it. But because they abandoned you, left you alone with nothing, you're having a hard time transforming these feelings and attitudes. You feel wrong, and you may feel resentment about their decisions, right? Some of them, they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying, they stay dedicated to trying to get back together again because they miss having sex with you real bad. And I just don't think that after going at it alone that you feel the need to reverse and backtrack to someone. Okay, now while you guys did have a great rapport, you bounced off of each other, you realized that this person was really, really lacking compromise. They didn't care about what you were building. They didn't care about your goals. They didn't care about those things in the past. So let me know how that resonates, friends. They're very overwhelmed, from not having you. They feel lonely. Especially for some of them, they thought that they could replace you. They thought that they would find this bliss in other places. They had a tremendous lack of discernment. Thank you so much, Pal 3. Let me know how that resonates. I love you so much. It was my honor to read your energy. Don't forget to sign up for our monthly newsletter. We are doing the astrological updates for the full moon and new moon lunar cycles. We're also currently raising money for our scholarship fund, Project 444 Fund at Divas Can Manifest. We hope that you will consider us and become a donor, and to also help us keep this free tarot channel available and accessible to all people. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Hi, Pal 4. Welcome to your selection. So how has your absence felt with the Seven of Pentacles? Some of these people are actually experiencing a reversal or a regression because they got triggered. It's not that they did not love and, appreciate your nurturance, patience, and unconditional love. This literally triggered them. They were afraid of this intimacy. They miss your traditional behavior. I don't know, something where you were very traditional. You were very, like, they love telling you what to do or something like that. They love telling you what to do, but they feel like, they miss the things that you used to do together. I'm getting a morning routine, evening routines, the way your traditional behaviors, especially like if you were like a homemaker or something like that, they definitely took this for granted. They are realizing that, like, your absence makes them realize that you were the only one that they could really trust and feel safe with. It's like you were this person's peace, and they got triggered real bad, okay? I'm also getting that some of these people, they felt invested very quick. I don't know what happened, but some of them, they actually may have rushed this connection and they failed to enjoy the process. Some of them, they got angry because you were not opening up. They got angry because you needed to take space, for yourself, and they started to feel neglect. This person failed to be patient with you, and they did not enjoy the process with you, okay? This person, I'm hearing that they're looking out the window a lot. I'm getting that this person is looking out the window a lot to see if you're coming. Okay, they're looking to see if you're going to show up to their, you know, their house or something like that. And they feel like, you know, you used to show up unannounced, or like maybe you're one of those crazy toxic couples that comes by, like, if this is a couple, but it's like you used to come by unannounced, or if they not answering their phone, you show up type of thing. You the type of person that you're like, if you're not answering me, I'ma just drive by. It better not be nobody over there, because I'ma go crazy. Somewhere you about to come by, you about to slash the tires, you finna act you gonna show your natural born ass on the line, okay? But they definitely miss the quality time that you guys used to spend together. They feel like this was literally, like, even if you were around each other just like watching TV, not doing anything, they literally miss this. They literally miss having you in their presence. Some of you, you guys would just be around each other, and then they would like express a need or a want, and then you would just jump to their every need and desire and their care. This definitely feels like you guys had a daily schedule or daily routines with one another. Even if this, like, if you did not live together, like on the phone, like they would be the first person that you would talk to in the morning, or the last person that you would speak to at night. And this is like no longer happening. And it's like you're no longer making an effort to cultivate the relationship, and you don't seem receptive to a reconciliation either. I'm getting something that involved a lot of socks or a lot of clothes and laundry. This person, they missed that you guys, your schedule and your routines, and they missed the traditions that you guys had. I'm hearing, you know, dinner time and breakfast, and they miss these activities that you guys took up together, and the quality time that you spent, because it represented like your love language. It represented your devotion, your traditional homemaking. It represented your unconditional love, and you nurturing them daily. I'm getting something where you're nurturing them with care daily. I'm hearing something about hair care routines. Something where you guys are very traditional. Where you're like, I don't know. I'm getting an image of you like literally shampooing their hair, giving them pedicures, giving them, like, you doing a lot of like nurturing them and taking care of them. But I feel like they definitely took this for granted. And when they got triggered, they did not think about, like, they took a very naive risk and did not think about like the consequences of their actions. Some of you guys here from Pal 1, some of you, they got triggered by your like you taking the slow and steady approach to this relationship. Okay, some of you guys are very, you are very slow at your relationships, and you show that you love these people with your quality time. So with the 7 of Pentacles, they were not like, they were taking the time that you were investing with them for granted. They did not see this. They did not see the value in this before. And it's like, oh, that was actually them valuing. This was actually their sign of love. You know, if they're not opening up, they're just shy and hesitant and reluctant, right? And now they're realizing that you were the only ones that they really can trust to be around. You were the ones that they really felt safe with, right? And they may have, like, you know, the reason why you're absent now, you know, or they're absent, is because a reversal or regression due to some type of triggering. So this is hard, okay? I'm also getting that, you know, you learned that this person was still investing in other people, or that they weren't, like I said, something where they were taking this time for granted, and they were taking a lot of naive risks. And it's like, as soon as you realized that there was company, it was a wrap. It's because like 3 is a crowd, and I feel like when you realize that this person was like, I'm hearing something where they were still desiring someone else, or they were still investing in someone else, or they I don't know, something where you caught them, you checked their tarot cards, you know, you checked and learned, you found out that there was a third party, you found out that this person was neglecting you for somebody else. You were like, and like, it's like you had like this, you were like the most involved in this person's life, or it's like something where it seemed so ridiculous. Like, you were like, when you learned that there was someone else, or you learned that there was company, you stopped making an effort to cultivate the relationship with them. Some of you, they saw that you took away your nurturance, you took away your unconditional love, you took away all of your traditions, and you let them realize the big difference between you and whatever else they were feeling invested in. Because something where they were invested in something or somebody that did not make sense or was not on your level whatsoever, and you're just like, because they were like, this was not making sense to you, I don't know, like, you're like, if you're desiring someone else, then that's who you can go spend quality time with, that's who you can build a daily routine with, that's who you can, you know, have the quality time, and that's who you can, you know, build traditions with, if that's what you care to do. Some of these people, they were still, you know, exploring their options, and you realize that there was like a competition for their time, and you realize there was like a competition for, you know, this tradition, and it's like once you stop cultivating with them and let them have whatever they were, you know, still invested in. I don't know, it definitely feel like they were invested in, like, I'm getting a Gemini or a Scorpio and a Capricorn. I'm getting that a lot of these people, they got triggered and they may have went back to an ex-partner, and it's like as soon as you realize that they were quick to go back to an ex, or they were still like invested in that, you were like, you are not valuing this quality time and investments that I'm making. So it's like some of you guys even got into like a huge fight, or there was a major like conflict around this person, after you realized that they were like still investing in someone else, or that they were like, you know, there was a competition for their time and their nurturance and their love, and you're like, okay, I'm definitely not going to continue to invest in that. And now, like, after taking this away from them, because like I'm getting something where you guys literally have routines together, you had a lot of breakfast and dinner and a lot of traditions with each other, and when you realize that they needed a side dish, it's like you guys had dinner and dessert and a 5-course meal, and this person still needed like a side dish, or they still needed to like explore something else. You were like, okay, you're canceled. I'm getting that this person literally got canceled, right? And they're just like hoping, like, after, you know, after all that, they're hoping that like you will, you know, give, you know, you will return, like something where they keep looking out the window, or they keep, you know, they keep hoping and, you know, waiting and expecting that you will return, right? And they're like, well, it's like that's not happening. They feel like you're not showing up the way that you used to. You're not cultivating and making an effort like they, you know, like they used to. But some of these people, they're quite literally not making an effort themselves. So some of them, they may have stopped being patient. They may have you learned that the love was not unconditional. This person was undependable, and it was like, I'm hearing that they literally, once you realize that it was somebody else, it was like not good. I'm getting that for some of you guys, this was like they got triggered, and this is why they were off with an ex or somebody from their past. And I'm hearing that you literally was like this very affectionate and protective, dependable care to them, and they became very threatening and undependable and controlling. And it's like you needed to stop, giving to this person for them to learn. And they literally, I'm hearing that you giving to them was like, you know, it was like your tradition, right? You were very traditional, and you're giving to them, very obedient, right? And they learned that this was like, you know, that this built trust and safety within one another. But they were like the opposite of trusting and safe with you. Especially some of them, they were like literally hiding an investment that they were making someone else with someone else. I'm hearing they were trying to build up their other options so that they can, like, they were trying to be patient with their other options, and trying to, like, hoping and wishing that those relationships would like grow and mature into like what, you know, your relationship was. They were hoping, some of them were literally trying to replace you after getting triggered. And they realized, like, after they realized that you were they were not getting protected by these other people. They were not getting affection and nurturance from these other people. These other people, they could not trust them. They were like not feeling safe with them. They started to feel very threatened by these other people as well. And they was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I've been so undependable to my dedicated person. Ooh, they fumbled you real bad. I'm hearing that once you got communication that there was somebody else, it was like after giving them this like unconditional love, and like I'm hearing after giving them so much, I'm also getting that you invested money and resources to them as well. They feel like you took all this back. Some of you guys took away your resources, you took away everything, and it's like this person no longer felt safe. It's like after I'm hearing something where you may have even stripped their home, or took away like what once was a nurturing and caring environment, and you let them, like you showed them what they were really left with. The people that you were feeling invested in, you can't, these are not people who are nurturing you. So I'm not sure why you're becoming threatening and undependable with me. Like, I don't know what that was about, friends. Like, that's really sad. I'm hearing that these people in this pile, they were actually they fell short by quite the distance. They were very disappointing, especially when you learned and got like correspondence and communication that they were triggered, that they regressed in some type of way, that they lowered their standards. Something where they may have expressed something and you learned that this person, like you learned that they were very undependable. You learned that them showing up, how they were showing up, it was not nurturing. It was actually very threatening. Something where they actually became unsafe. And because they were so triggered, they may have even started attacking you and hurting you, especially if like you're this submissive traditional person. They may have even started to abuse that, right? Oh my goodness, power forward, right? South node, right? Yeah, this person is literally stuck at the south node. Some of them are very controlling as well. They're conformists. They are like, I'm hearing a lot of like karmic situations with this person, and it's like once you got expression about them, it's like you realize that they were another loop. Even if you guys showed affection, it's like they may have still been like showing affection, right? But you realize that this person was not patient. You realize that you couldn't trust them, and like that this wasn't safe. Like even if they're touching you, this is not like a safe thing, right? Especially some of you found out that there was somebody else, and they were like competing for attention, and you were not getting this person's unconditional and like you were not getting their undivided attention, and that they were like, oh, I'm getting something that they expressed help you realize, how controlling they were, how they were like, some of them, they even stopped, they declined in their giving. They stopped being dependable. They started being flaky, and you started to like, they started to show up and very like, they started to become like, they were triggered. So some of them, they were like in and out. And this is like, this person literally is at the south node. The reason why, like how they're experiencing your absence is like through your nurturance and unconditional love. You were moving this person to like a trustworthy and safe relationship. You were moving towards, the north node. But without you, right, they definitely are stuck in a karmic loop. You guys already know this. This person is very weak. Okay, they're very weak, and they were very threatening to you, and harmful to you in some type of way. They may have even started to fight you because they were so triggered. I'm hearing abusing you, literally fighting you like you're somebody off the street. I'm hearing something where the police may have even gotten involved, and you cannot trust this. Like, you felt like you cannot trust this person because of like, they were so unpredictable and undependable. Like, and some of them where they really stopped showing up when you needed them the most, and they were just. I'm hearing something like, they may have said, they were like, they may have even told you like, or expressed something that showed how triggered and how like untrustworthy they were. I'm hearing something where they were like, somebody said like, I'm trying to get rid of you, or they may have came clean about a third party, or you realize that there was literally like, this person was not fully present, that they were like, while you were showing up dedicated and unconditionally loving, this person was taking that for granted. From the peaceful relations. Oh my God. How was your absence felt, powerful? Release resentment. Yeah, okay. And then what? A power struggle on the bottom of the deck. What did I say? Someone was very controlling. This person was triggered, and they started to compete for control and influence. And it's like you guys were in a, like, it was a disagreement going on, and that's like more about communication here. And they were just like ignoring your perspective. Like, this may have been a very traditional relationship, and they started crossing your boundaries, and they started to like push. I'm hearing like they started to push your buttons, and they started to like make a lot of threats and ultimatums, and they were not compromising. Somebody is holding a grudge, and it's just like this became a very unsafe situation with this South Node person. And it was like you were still trying to nurture them or something like that. But once you got wind that there was like this power struggle, once you got wind that this person was in a subtle power struggle, and you were just trying to love them and be like unconditionally loving, and that they were holding on to resentment about past disagreements, and like something where you, I don't know, something where you may have even got a tarot reading with this person, and you were like, I'm getting that you there was like a reconciliation after a period of separation or disagreement, and you realized that this person has still been holding on to resentment. It's like you were like, I'm no longer, you saw that they were still holding on to resentment, and I feel like this is what made you stop making an effort or something like that. They were not valuing the quality time. They were not using the time wisely. I'm hearing that this person was literally taking all of this for granted. And I feel like now that you've taken away, your investments and things like that, and you cut correspondence, this person, they are starting to come, starting to feel your absence. Okay, starting to feel your absence for sure. How is this person, how is your absence felt for? This relationship definitely needs to go through healing, okay? Send your loving, healing energies to the wounds, okay? To the places where your hurt is, to places where you feel victimized. Because this person, they're triggering really, it makes you feel unsafe, okay? You no longer feel safe or comfortable with this person, and I feel like that's why you are not putting in the effort. And it's like the tables have turned, like a lot of the piles today. And they're definitely like, they miss your traditions and things like that, but they have not been able to release resentment. They have regressed to the South Node once again, okay? Some of them will perish there. Because they have not been able to give up this power struggle. So let's see. How is this person feeling your absence powerful? Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, we must let go of resentment. Yeah, I'm getting that a lot of emotions came up in this situation, and there's a lot of resentment here because of this person's distorted perception and triggering, okay? Both of you guys could have been struggling with this, but I feel like you really were trying to communicate and express love, and you were really being patient with them, and it's like as soon as you realized that this person was it's like you could have been patient with them, right? But when you realized that this person was with somebody else, or that they were holding on to this resentment, you were very like, it was like you stopped being open to a reconciliation. So what's going on in this situation? Powerful. I'm hearing someone is very angry. Okay, someone's very angry. Some of them, they can't even have a communication. They can't even talk. Okay. But they keep having these unrealistic expectations that you're going to, like, you're going to be the one putting in all the effort. Like, you're going to be, like, some of them, they have this wish that you'll just show up at their house again, or that you will be the one to make all the efforts, right? And they're literally not making any effort at all. And while they still feel invested, right? They feel invested because of all the quality time that you guys have shared with one another. You just need to let this person, if they don't make an effort, then, if nothing changes, then nothing changes, right? You have to keep moving on with your life. Especially if they still are feeling invested somewhere else. 3 is a crowd. You're definitely not feeling all the other competitions. Okay, you're not feeling the third party competition. Okay, especially when these people have not had as much quality time. These people have not, you know, shown up with an unconditional love. These people have not been, you know, caring and nurturing and devoted and giving and traditional like you have. So if they feel like that is where they would, you know, if that's what they prefer, if that's where they feel comfortable, you know, in their regression, in their reversal, in their lowering of their standards, then, you know, their emotions have definitely distorted their perception of things. Okay, I definitely feel like, though, all this space that you are taking, your absence, is helping them see, you know, things clearly. So let's see, what do we need to know about the situation, Power 4, okay, so that you can make the best decision. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this person definitely wants another opportunity with you. We have the Ace of Wands, but I don't feel like they, you know, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity to work on things again. But there's so much anger and frustration around this situation. There's so much resentment around this situation. The spiritual new beginning is blocked with the Ace of Wands. So if you did show up to this person's house, or you did try to create a new opportunity in the earth realm, in the material realm, I feel like it would be an effort to work on things, but this person's perception is still clouded. They are still struggling with releasing resentment, and there will not be any changes, right, in the situation, right? This will continue to loop around this karma, because this person with this Ace of Wands in the reverse will not be experiencing a spiritual new beginning, because they're still holding on to resentment. And I don't know if, you know, you can, I don't know if choose, like with the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, they may need you to nurture them into a spiritual new beginning, right? Nurture them out of this power struggle. Nurture them out of this family violence, because there's been an impasse in the communication, and it's because this person has literally like been ignoring your perspective and crossing so many boundaries and making you feel so uncomfortable and unsafe. And all of this resentment, you know, it's like you I don't think that you're the one holding on to the resentment. Now I feel like you may be mad that there's like, you know, when you realize that this person, you know, they were not committed, they were still exploring some other options, and you're like, okay, well, if you're not sure about me, I'm most definitely not sure about you. And, you know, there has been some hurt incurred here from this person's family violence and power struggle. And there's a lot of like emotional contempt here. There is a lot of this is clouding and distorting, you know, I'm not just going to say their vision, but it's also distorting, you know, yours as well, right? You guys will need to let go of resentment if you want this relationship to work out and to start the spiritual new beginning, where there's a more collaboration, there's more communication, there's actually a resolution of your problems. But someone is failing to, you know, honor your perspective. Someone is failing to, they're in a power struggle around your daily routine and your daily schedule or something like that. And it just feels like this is not a safe situation. This person, and it's not your responsibility to nurture them into a new perspective. If they can't see the error of their ways, if they can't see why things are structured, like something about the routine or something about like the operations or something like that, they cannot like, it's something where they are still trying to like control something when they literally like, when they are the one at risk. And this is like them, they are not the ones in control. I feel like you are the one in control. You are the one that has the clear judgment around things, and they have been struggling with control issues. And I'm not sure if this is a right fit for you, or even a safe fit for you. It is your decision if you want to nurture them out of these control issues, but they're literally holding on to resentment because of your power. Okay, this person, they're definitely missing that. They feel like you're no longer patient and unconditionally loving of them. You're no longer nurturing them, and you're no longer putting in the effort. And I don't think that it is your responsibility. So, but while you guys feel invested because of all the quality time, it seems like all of those moments have gone in vain, and those moments have passed. If someone is not showing up in your reality today, then that doesn't really, you don't really need to invest in it. You don't need to invest your energy into it. Some of them, they have literally, you haven't had any correspondence from them. You haven't had any communication from them. They haven't put any effort in at all. And you deserve someone who puts in an effort. Okay, Power 4? Let me know how that resonates. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. I hope that you would check the description box to learn more about what's going on in the organization. Don't forget to sign up for our bi-monthly newsletter for the full moon and new moon lunar cycles. And until next time, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.